wanted to talk about opening ceremony, we wanted to talk about security, we wanted to talk about liquidity, we wanted to talk about release 02. What else?
Oh, I can think of, yeah.
Are there any other topics that you guys wanted to bring? Any questions? When AMM? Yeah, we're going to talk about that.
Yeah. Topic release. We'll do some we'll do some Q&A obviously. Yeah.
Awesome. Audit? Yep, we'll talk about that ugly snake. We got you. Fire ritual swap. Good question. Let's include that one too. Great.
Yeah,
okay.
Let's hit it.
Yeah, Pentani is so dreamy, Scoop. I agree. Don't start, Perfect. Do not start. Okay, let's do it. So, opening ceremony. Holy fuck. This is some juicy ones there. I'm just gonna copy Hodl Star's questions there. Put it here. Good questions. So, opening ceremony. Holy shit, I don't know if you guys saw the end statistics, but we ended up with over $180 million in treasury, 181.5. That's pretty good, I guess, for a little over 2 weeks of launch. $181 million of treasury, just to put that in context, that's more risk-free value than Olympus DAO has in their treasury, and they've obviously been operating for 6 months. We love those guys, by the way, and they have a lot of other assets in their treasury, let's be clear. They're bigger than us still, so far. But in terms of risk-free value, which is what they base their ability to mint Ohm off, and what we base our ability to mint Temple off, we actually eclipsed them in like 2 weeks, which you guys are insane. So that's kind of cool, you know. Well done, crew. With all those fracks being sacrificed, I mean, it was one hell of a ritual. The price rose to $3.92, which is a long way up from our opening ceremony, but this is something totally different to what's ever been done before, right? I mean, normally, with every other pre-sale, with every other launch, the price in the first 10 seconds, you know, pumps. I mean, let's take Olympus. I mean, those guys created this whole ecosystem of yielding coins, right? They did an amazing job. And in the first, you know, day, the price pumped 1,000x. And that's pretty awesome. But it means that only the people that got in those first few seconds got the bulk of the wealth. You know, after that point, the price is difficult to rise to the same degree as it did in that very first part of the story. And so you get some people that, you know, generate crazy wealth really fast, but then you get other people that maybe the risk and return there is more challenged. Whereas what we wanted to do for the temple was make it a safe place for everyone, big or small. We wanted to reward the people that come early, reward the people that are deserving. But we want to make it attractive for people to enter the temple at any point in time. We don't want to mean that, you know, 95% of the value has already been given away to early people. Because protocols rely on growth. If we can make the temple an attractive place to join always, then we're going to have more temple people joining, more and more and more, and the community is going to keep growing, the protocol is going to get stronger, we're going to build more things, and, you know, this is going to become a very large temple. So I think this is what we saw, this is what we saw in the opening ceremony, because the price remained accessible for everyone. We got 6 months worth of growth in 2 weeks, right? And that's pretty awesome. So we're gonna make it, crew. And so far, 7,500 Templars sacrificed on average 25,000 fracks. And I mean, that's a lot, $181 million in treasury is a lot, but it's also pretty small, right? Feed pick, oh god, lost. 7,500 Templars is tiny, right? Tiny. Median fracks burned, Lila, was 10,000. About 10,000 fracks median. So, median 10,000, average 25,000, and 7,500 Templars. It's a really small volume of DeFi. It's a tiny fraction of the world. The ability for us to grow from here is still, large. And that's the goal. So we want to keep being attractive to attract the next 7,500 Templars, the next 75,000 Templars, the next 7.5 million Templars, and get everyone into the temple where they can be part of, a new form of DeFi, which is not about pumping and dumping and shitcoin casinos, but, gradually and with some chill and with some equanimity, making it together, That's stake and chill. DeFi, next generation. That's what it's all about. Alright. What else should we say about the opening ceremony, crew? Lost boy gender reveal party. Oh, man.
Yeah, just one thing, I just want to say it was really impressive, actually, the community, everything that people created and added and the energy, I was really, really impressed. I've never seen that much community spirit and just creation come together at one time, so I just want to give a big thanks to everyone who was involved, because obviously everyone involved really made the opening ceremony what it was, and that includes everyone, not just the team, right? So kudos to all of you guys, because yeah, it was rocking because of you guys, basically.
100%. 100%. Oh yeah, we're gonna have a big graduation party. So over 30,000 people on Discord, over 30,000 followers on Twitter. I can't measure the exact stats on this, though I've tried, but I would have to say that the Temple Discord is one of the most active, if not the most active communities in DeFi right now. And we've had a lot of protocols come to us and want to talk about how we've structured the community and created an environment where Templars can join enclaves, smaller communities within the DAO, and have a place to engage. And we're just beginning here, right? I mean, only just beginning. And we have so much more to bring on the way that the temple is organized. And no, Rome didn't approach us. I think they just listen to our call to prayers for their inspiration sometimes. Troll. So, we'll see what ideas they take from this call. But we love Rome as well. And I think the more people that are attempting to push this more engaged, more active form of governance, gamified, orgfi, and this is a term we've been kicking around internally, is that there's DeFi, which is all about the financial mechanics. There's GameFi, which is all about turning the game into something that has financial incentives, like we did for the opening ceremony. And then there's orgfi, which is all about creating a structure in the organization that also has financial incentives, that's also decentralized, and that's like what we're doing here with our enclaves. We're going to be adding more structure within that. We're going to make decentralized processes for people to go deeper in the temple. And it's what Rome's doing too. You know, they're creating these houses and they're creating a game to progress deeper into the organization, and that's dope. You know, we want lots of people to take these ideas that we're innovating with and creating, and you know, the more people that fork our organizational structure and our ideas on that front, the better, because we want these ideas to spread in DeFi. You know, we want people to take it and, you know, help the whole of DeFi become more chill instead of, you know, boring and adrenaline filled. You know, more feed pics everywhere. You know, to make the place a better community.
Yeah, no, I think it's a good point we want to get across, is that when we first started TempleDAO, it was called Omatic, and Jaws from Ohm was so funny. Like, he came and just was yelling at us. I'll never forget that. But he really inspired our innovation in some ways, but the kind of attitude we want to take to other projects is we're really happy if people take TempleDAO ideas and use them in a way that's cool. Obviously, if they just rip things off 100%, it's questionable, but we want these ideas to spread, and we want the culture and the temple lore to continue evolving, because that's the whole idea. We want to do good things in the space, right? So, yeah, a lot of these people we're friends with, and we think they're cool, and we have fun teasing each other, so good vibes.
Yeah, just to be clear, guys, definitely not a cult. So we do not want to turn everyone into temple fanatics across the entire DeFi. That is not our plan. Yeah.
Okay, sweet. You want to talk, keep moving forward, you want to talk security and then liquidity?
Yeah, great. So, two things on security. At the end of the fire ritual process, we said that we would... Look, we're not a cult. At the end of the fire ritual, we said that we would set up multi-sig. We did that. We put multi-sig over all of our contracts, and at the start of the opening ceremony, we encountered a few unexpected technical glitches, which some of you may have noticed, and we had to take multi-sig off one of our contracts to hotfix one of those glitches so that we could get the opening ceremony back on track. And as soon as the opening ceremony ended, we brought multi-sig back on one of those contracts. So now all of the contracts are secured by multi-sig. That includes treasury, that includes staking, and so on. So, good news, multi-sig is in place. We use Gnosis Safe, which is the industry standard. And we'll be expanding that over time, and, you know, adding to our governance, can keep strengthening our security, but just wanted to make sure everyone understood that the treasury is protected by multi-sig, and there won't be any rogue people. You know, you're safe, basically, from that perspective. You're safe. So hit us with any other... multi-sig can be removed only by the multi-sig, right? And multi-sig is about making sure that no individual person can have any control over the contracts, and that's exactly the case. So no individual person could, you know, do any of the owner level functions on our key contracts. So hopefully that answers that one. Oh, you guys are killing me. Audits. So originally, you know, way back before we launched the fire ritual, those that were around then might know that we discussed with the community whether or not we wanted to put a really large brand audit on the, get an audit done by a big brand. And we talked to about 10 different audit firms. We found one or two of those that were really credible, but they weren't able to complete an audit for 3 or 4 months. And we found a lot of other audit firms that were willing to do an audit very fast, but honestly, I wasn't sure their work was very good at all. It seemed like they ran some automated tests, they took a quick look over the code, and then they gave you a report. And there were plenty of rug pulls which had been audited by all of those firms, so it didn't seem like it was worth doing. Instead, what we did was we did a review and found all of the best devs that we could put our fingers on in our network, and we ended up we were considering a White Hat Hacker and a couple of other deep DeFi devs, and we ended up going with a gentleman that was part of the Ethereum Foundation, super deep experience in the Ethereum ecosystem and Solidity. The best devs we could finger. Yes. We chose to finger this guy, and he spent over a week with us, and we went through the code line by line, talked through everything, discussed different approaches to different aspects of the protocol. We got a really great experience. Yeah. I mean, we had a lot of stamina, it's true. And he had a lot of stamina too, really. I'm not sure who it was more difficult for, but we all enjoyed the experience, and we came out with a lot of new insights. We learned a lot. And at the end of the day, the report was that there was no major issues in the contract. They had a couple of extra suggestions to make some things more efficient and more best practice in a couple of areas, which we took on board and we changed. But there were no major issues found, and we learned a lot from, just being able to lean on their depth of experience. So that's what we've done so far on the audit space. Since we accumulated the most risk-free value of, any treasury, we have had more people asking if we get an official audit. And we're super happy to do this. If the community would like to, I mean, we're the ones that care about the security the most, right? Butler is the lead dev. This responsibility sits on his shoulders, and he cares a lot about making sure that the code is tight. We don't want anyone stealing anything out of the treasury, right? The temple must be safe. But if you guys would like a big name audit firm, we don't want to. The temple must be tight. That's right. We don't want. Yeah, Butler is dreaming. It's true. We don't want to have any of the dodgy audit firms. We can't be bothered with that. But if you guys want us to go with a super top tier audit firm, it'll probably take a few months to book in with them. But if the community wants that, sure. If it gives some more confidence, sure. We don't think it's necessary, but if you would like it, no issue. So, love to get your thoughts on that. And yeah, we're happy to.
Yeah, we could do a poll or something. We have some recommendations on the best ones, but it would be interesting to do a poll or something with everyone. What they want.
Yeah, cool. That's a good idea. Let's do a poll. And I think the bug bounty is also... they can't concentrate if we're not intimate, So we've got to get close for them to really understand all our secrets. So let's do a poll. Let's find out what brand would give the best confidence to the community, and I think a bug bounty is also a great idea. So let's take that one away and set something up for that as well.
Okay, sweet. So let's get into liquidity, yeah?
Awesome. So next topic, when AMM. So the basic plan for Tokamak Reactor, yeah. So we were selected as one of the protocols that got into the top 40 or whatever that was selected for Core 2 Tokamak. The voting was, I think, a little unfair because everyone in Core 1 had a bunch of bonus votes from the first round. We didn't, and we did a really great showing and came 7th, was it? 7th, I think? But if it was only based on the votes in Core 2, we would have ended up in the top 5, which is pretty incredible for a protocol that was only a week or two old. So we did pretty incredible. Templars turned out, the Fraximalists turned out, and we got a huge number of votes. And we're basically a shoo-in for Core 3 if we wanted, because we have so many stacked Core 2 votes now that we'll have the advantage, just like other protocols had the advantage last time. So we're ready, we're sitting pretty. If we want to play with Toka, we will be able to do that at Core 3, no problem. So in the meantime, we are going to be launching liquidity. And let us tell you a little bit of a story. Lux is going to kill me if we share too much alpha. But one of the problems with normal AMMs is that they encourage this pump and dump mentality, and they encourage bots and everyone to kind of pile in and basically create a lot of the volatility that we see in a lot of protocols. Lux is so cute. And so at Temple, we don't take anything standard. You know, we don't want to do anything the standard way. So we're working on a modified AMM design that bakes in some price stability as one of the features. And originally we had built this to operate with Sushi and Uni. And that means that we had an on-chain bot, basically, that would provide some price stability and basically, you know, even out the price, you know, provide a little bit of buy support, get your fingers ready so that it can, you know, really coax the AMM into a beautiful, gentle up and down movement, which is what you want. You don't want to move up and down too fast, too quickly on the AMM. So we wanted to create a little bit more stability and get that really moving nice and slow and smooth and deep so that people were able to buy and sell effortlessly on the AMM. But the problem with using a public AMM is that it's expensive to have to interact with a completely separate protocol, burning gas every time. Yeah, using Keeper, we 100%. And it means that you have to fight the market because our bot is on the same terms as everyone else's bot. And so we create a bit of a bot fight where we're trying to provide price stability. These other bots are coming in and attempting to create price instability. And we thought, why are we fighting the bots on a level playing field? Why don't we bring this into home territory? Create our own version of an AMM that has this price stability baked into it, as a native feature. And it will provide exactly the same functionality. Like you can buy, you can sell. Intent is not to make it difficult to exit the temple, where we're not trying to, lock people forever, and we don't want to do that sort of thing, yeah? If people need to sell, they need to sell. The temple should be a voluntary place of worship that you never want to leave. You can leave at any time, but no one would ever want to. That's the environment we want to create. And so, for that reason, if we create a native AMM within the temple, we can provide this price stability and give our own bot an advantage over anyone else's bot. And that means that we can win. It means that we can do things that would be a lot riskier, a lot harder on an open market AMM where we don't have this kind of hometown advantage. Necrosis, yeah, 100%. People could put Temple onto sushi, but they won't be able to put as much liquidity. So if you wanted to buy or sell in larger volumes, you would come to our AMM probably, because that's where the bulk of the liquidity will be, because we'll be owning most of our liquidity. So, yeah, that's part of the plan. Does this make Toka irrelevant? So, we have a few different strategies around liquidity here, and we have a really great way that we could use a Toka reactor. But in the meantime, particularly because we don't have a Toka reactor and we think that the price stability and the temple-owned liquidity is going to be the most valuable part of it, then yeah, this is the right strategy for now. So in the next couple of weeks, we'll be launching this native AMM, which incorporates an ability for the protocol to stabilize the price and bring more funds into Treasury. It's going to be very innovative and different to anything else that any protocol has done before. And it will mean that we'll start increasing the funds running into Treasury. We'll be increasing runway, and we'll be providing some extra price stability compared to what other protocols are able to do. So there'll be a big Medium article with all the alpha on this once we're a lot closer to launch, and it will be dropping before release 2. So release 2 is in about 4 weeks' time, and this will be dropping before that, in the next couple of weeks.
Boom, boom. Okay, any more questions on the liquidity stuff before we move on? There was a couple decent that were quite good. Lost them there. Wasn't the maximum price for buying from the smart contract of 6x reserve solve this? And other bots could arbitrage this with other AMMs? Question mark.
Yes, the Mac. Yeah, really killer question. So, you're drawing more alpha out of me. A really smart question. Well done. I'm going to talk a little bit more about this. However, the direction that the temple has gone right now has really lent hard into... If I get muted, direction where we've led has been really hard into, oh, I'm nervous, into this GameFi and rituals direction, and launch your own blockchain called Beads. Yeah, okay, I think I should probably not say too.
Sorry, dude. Take a breath. Okay, you're unmuted.
Yeah, okay. So, we've got more to tell about that. But maybe we should wait.
Yeah. Take a breath. Okay. So, how much should we talk about the next release? I mean, what do we want to touch on?
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know what I can say now. Release 2, we've got a lot of juicy drops coming. We're organizing some pretty big teams in the DeFi side, which is all about this liquidity, AMM, and that's just the beginning. We have some pretty wild plans, actually. We also have the OrgFi side, which is bringing a lot of groups within the temple and beginning to create, some new models of decentralized gamified governance. That's the direction that we're headed there. And on the GameFi side, we have some pretty big alpha to drop with partnering with some other protocols, and that's all I'll say for now. So that's release 2. Release 2 is coming. 4 weeks time, we'll have some big Medium articles dropping with our first one product that is, pretty exciting and something that hasn't been seen before in DeFi. And we'll also be dropping more about our roadmap at that point, which includes a lot of further, we'll be explaining some more about the progress that we're on OrgFi, GameFi, and DeFi.
Yeah, no, I think that's a good place to leave off, because, like, if you guys look back at the opening ceremony, what were the major elements that were introduced, right, with TempleDAO? And you could categorize it into those larger picture categories, right? All the DeFi stuff, all the gaming, metaverse stuff, and then the organizational stuff. And so, broadly speaking, you're going to see us continue to push down those routes, right? And we'll be more explicit about that, and we'll publish a Medium post about what that looks like exactly. But the opening ceremony is in a way kind of an introduction to where things are going, you could say.
100%. I mean, what is the magic that underpinned the opening ceremony? It was some really innovative DeFi principles, which centered around the idea of slow, gentle growth, slow movement of price, fair incentives for everyone, and, really solid mechanics to grow everyone's bag. So that was the DeFi side. On the OrgFi side, we had, this idea of creating groups within the organization and making the team and the community and the game all structured in the same way. That there's a pathway for people to get active within the community, to join an enclave, to then become a disciple, to become part of the team, and that's not based on who you know, but it's also really fair that the most deserving people rise to the top and contribute, and we can build this temple together. That's the organizational piece. And then the GameFi piece, I mean, you saw that in the opening ceremony. Didn't just give you a form and a button to click. We gave you a whole metaverse experience. And that metaverse experience allowed you to join your enclave. It onboarded people into the organization, introduced people into the flavor and the philosophy of Temple. It gave people a chance to see that there could be a different kind of DeFi, one that is fun, one that forges an incredibly deep community, one that has a totally different idea about how economics should work for people, more about staking and chilling and less about casinos and dumping on the people that come after you. And so that is what the opening ceremony was all about. It was all three of those things. It was the way that the organization is part of the same product as the GameFi, it's part of the same product as the DeFi. And that is the heart of the Temple. It's all three of those things working really tightly together to create a totally different DeFi organization, DAO experience. So that is exactly what's coming next, right? Organization meets game, meets DeFi, and those three pillars of the Temple are being worked on in a really, well, they're being worked on.
Yeah, we'll share more details in Medium post pretty soon, but that's about as far as we'll go. So, yeah, what other topics? Ritual migration.
Oh yeah, good one. Yeah, so Fire Ritual migration, that's coming. Don't worry about it. It will be, it'll be before the AMM launches, and you are currently earning 1% yield. The migration will sort that out. Make sure that no matter when we launch the migration, you'll get exactly the right amount of Temple. You will also have the ability to not migrate if you choose, and unstake. That's possible for you to do today if you want to. No one has, but if you want to, go onto Etherscan and unstake right now. Fire Ritualists, but that would be crazy. So up to you. And yeah, so that's coming. We'll give some news on that. We'll have a special contract for migration, and we're going to tie this into an upgrade to our staking contract, because the way that we're headed, we want to be able to incentivize this organizational design and this GameFi design with some extra flexibility on the DeFi mechanics side. So that's coming. Yeah, 3 to 5 year vision for the Temple. Fuck. Obviously, to be the home of, the greatest treasury known to the whole cryptosphere, with the most innovative game mechanics, deepest community engagement, building something together that has grown the bags to something of a scale that's nation-state level within the cryptosphere. That's the 3 to 5 year vision. What do you reckon? The nation of Temple, something like that. Okay, so opening ceremony, closing party, where and when? So the after party is happening in CryptoVox. We are love you, Ronnie. The after party is happening in CryptoVoxels, and we've got a couple of special guests. There will be an opportunity to collect some NFTs. There will be, drinks on me. And and I don't know exactly the date for the after party. Do you know when we're gonna drop this, Lost?
No, we haven't decided, but we'll make an announcement. Depends on a couple things. It's in a Medium article.
It's in the Medium article. Don't worry, guys. We'll tell you in the Medium article exactly all the details. Any further questions? On Toga Field, the ice cream was promised only if the opening ceremony was delayed beyond a certain time, and we delivered. We only just delivered. We did. So, I don't know anyone ice cream. Luckily, because I had a lot riding on that. Alright. Any other questions that people would like to drop? Will there be more CryptoVoxels integration? Hodl, you've got some killer questions, my man. Yes, and we'll also be going into other metaverses. And you never know what else might happen. You know, we're not building our own platform, 3D crypto experience. You know what I mean? Was that too much? Someone just, anyway, I said nothing at all. Potential NFT. Like, we're not doing NFT. You know what I mean? For those who staked Toke, will they still get their Templar drop? My tweet was specifically only if we won. But don't you worry. We will be sorting out people with sweet drops for the after party, and we do really appreciate that people stake Toke for us, because it's going to help us win next time. But I feel like we've got to follow through on our word here, which the specific wording was if we got a reactor, we were going to drop some dope Toke robes. But I mean, a temple Toke robe, it doesn't really make sense right now because we're not in the Toke system. So it's coming. We'll get that. Anything else? Any other smart questions? Gently coax alpha out of me that I shouldn't say yet. Yeah, we're not writing a Medium article. That's the best call of the day. Yeah, Ace Panda, why is our dashboard not updating? Why did you make it so broken? Yeah, that's just the way the protocol works. The data doesn't update. The data doesn't update until people interact on the game. But it won't update again until people start staking, minting. So the dashboard's going to be paused until then. When will treasure be invested? Soon. When devs better mics? It's a meme at this point. We've just got husky voices. Is there going to be LP incentives? We'd prefer to spend our firepower on our own treasury than incentivizing the treasury, the LP, owning our own LP rather than incentivizing other people's LP. So we won't be putting a lot into incentives for third-party liquidity. We'll be, using our firepower to own a lot. Cross-chain strategies. We are not currently testing some cross-chain contracts. Why are we hiding our identity? This is who I am, man. Don't shame me out of my avatar yet. or so, Lost gets shy. I couldn't handle the cute comments are already too much with cartoon avatars. What if you saw Lost in real life? It'd be overdrive. What inspired the creation of TempleDAO? Wanting a place to stake and chill, man. DeFi is adrenaline-filled junkie casino full of bots and people on the inside dumping on retail, awesome players coming to the game new and getting wrecked because VCs are dumping on them, insiders are dumping on them, and bots are wrecking them. Like, fuck that. We wanted to create something, way better. And we wanted to take all the best ideas of DeFi, but, make it something that's really incentivized for everyone to win. So that's why we created the temple. NBS, I love you. VCs are not going to make it. I mean, I hope that people realize Temple just raised $180 million into Treasury, and we had 0 investors. Lost, how many VCs did we turn down over the first couple of months?
A lot. I didn't track, but big spreadsheet.
A lot.
There was a lot. There was a lot of VCs that got turned down, and VCs are cool. They can come and join the opening ceremony and buy them. I mean, whales are cool, little guys are cool, everyone's cool, but we want it to be fair. We don't want people to use the fact that they're a VC, or use the fact that they've got a ton of money, or use the fact that they are, friends with the founders to get an advantage. We want everyone to be on the fair playing field. And that was the idea. And that's what we created. So, and I think that, it's crazy because it's so short-sighted when people, raise a bunch of money from a VC, but then the VC dumps on the community, and it means the chance of growing. You can't become the biggest protocol in DeFi by fucking with your community. It makes no sense. I don't know why everyone does this. Not everyone, but too many players have done this. And they end up having 2 masters. Got the need to do what the investors want, but also what the community wants, so what the team wants. Really difficult, right? But in the temple, we said, how about we just make investors our community and our team our community, and then it's all the same. It's all the same. There's no conflict of interest, no challenges. What's best for any one of those groups of people is what's best for all of them, because they're all the same. And that's why all we need to do now is just do the right thing by you guys. We win.
Okay, more questions? We just got 8 more minutes. Let's see. Why were sacrifices disallowed? Wouldn't it be better to keep the treasury liquid coming in? Part of our vibe is that Temple does rituals, right? And each ritual has a goal or an outcome. And part of that outcome is the sacrificing step, right? And so this is something that'll be open and then closed repeatedly, right? There's this timely place for it. And there's a lot of reasons why, but that's kind of the rhythm that we've committed to. So at the moment, sacrifices are closed and they won't be open until the next ritual. And same with joining enclaves. And a number of things won't be open until that time. So,
yeah. 100%.
Is there a plan to sustainably maintain the runway? Yeah, I mean, of course, right? We have to. There's a few problems we're solving, right? And there's different ways we're going to solve them. And of course, we're going to announce that in the upcoming time here, how we plan on doing that. But yeah, obviously, we've been thinking hard about how to build out a runway that works for the long term, right? Otherwise, it doesn't make sense to start a project.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, runway is basically growth, right? If we can keep growing the community and keep making money, then the runway will get longer and longer. And at the moment, we've got 7,500. You know, that's tiny, right? I mean, it's a big community, but it's also small. So all we need to do is keep attracting a lot of new players into the temple, and runway will keep extending.
Yeah, and we'll make more announcements, but obviously introducing more products, right? Like more things that produce value for the TempleDAO community, and that's going to continue as well, right? Each ritual and each release that we do. So there's a few ways that ecosystem kind of continues to develop besides just having more people come.
All right.
What happened? Is Lost Boy a girl? Yeah. What else we got here? Tell Lost Boy to disable Hente firewall. Yeah, we got to talk about it. That's a good question. What do you think the biggest hurdle that Temple will face? So, one of the challenges we're going through at the moment is that we've grown a lot, right, in a small amount of time, and we're having some growing pains, and it's a natural thing, right? Like every time a team goes through this kind of experience. So, the way that we were doing things 6 weeks ago is changing quite a bit now because there's so many more people involved, and so one of the big challenges and goals we're going to have is to really keep attracting super great people to help with temple projects, right? And we got a great team now, but as we grow, we're really going to need like superb individuals. So that's something that if all of you, right now we need more kind of leaders, like people that can really own projects and fulfill things in a few categories. And we're going to start making some posts about who those people are and what roles, but it's something that everyone can kind of help us out with. Like if you know someone that has a real strong background in building things that work and, they're just strong, right? Strong leaders, strong experience. That's one thing we're going to need more at TempleDAO, and we'll continue. So, just put that out there, and we'll make some publish announcements in the next few days about different roles that we're looking for, but that's going to be a big kind of thing to work on the next year for sure.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, this is the whole theory behind the enclaves, is basically turn it into a decentralized, fair onboarding system for finding the very best talent in DeFi and allowing them to rise up to the ranks, build the best products in DeFi. So, and we need the talents from every enclave. We need chaos, we need logic, we need structure, we need order. And so we'll be continuing to share more ways that people can get involved. And we need help. The plans are big.
Okay, you guys paid new devs top dollar to attract and retain good talent. Yeah, top temple. So that's gonna be the deal. But yeah, for sure, like anyone that comes on the team, and everything we do is about kind of fair exchange, right? So if someone's a super value-adding engineer or person, then yeah, they're gonna get a super value-adding compensation program. So it's all fair and relative. So yeah, if you guys know top people, send them our way, or just have them hit us up, and we'd love to talk with them.
Awesome. What happens if you get stupid? Well, I don't think anyone's going to community when it's stupid. I don't know shit about fuck. So, I think who would want to leave the cult, There's more here than money, and that's what we hope to hit. So, on that note, let's get rich and have a party. So, anything else before we close out?
2 minutes, people. Let's fucking go. We can pump these speeds. Yeah, sweet. We'll have more announcements. We'll have more announcements for you guys. Like, we spent a lot of time the last week kind of decompressing from the opening ceremony and making plans, but things will start to firm up pretty clearly here, and we'll have some good medium posts coming your way.
Awesome.
Okay, thanks everyone.
Thanks all. Medium article coming. Wait for the Medium article. All the details in the Medium article. Thanks all.